Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. In my last video, I said I was an obedient child who never stepped out of line or broke rules when growing up. I wasn't lying, but I do have things I have secretly carried on my shoulder for a long time and still feel arguably guilty about this day. This video isn't just for your entertainment. It's going to serve as me clearing my conscience and finally being free from these chains of guilt. Also, don't get your hopes up. None of these stories involve murder. Sorry, I did kill anyone. Every once in a while, my dad would let us sit in front of the television for dinner. That would be a special treat for my brother and me because my mom isn't home. She didn't let us watch TV during the weekend. It's when we were very young. I'm allowed to eat in front of the TV like at least 3 days a week now. We were eating in front of the TV and I wanted chip for dessert. Our dinner rule is eat dinner and then get a little treat or dessert afterward. And I wanted chip, everyone's favorite dessert. So my dad gets the bag of chip and normally my parents will pull its bowl. But there isn't much left, so he just gave me the bag and said, don't eat them all. He got 2 cool parents that day. It was going good so far. Now eating chips in front of the TV. The height of luxury. I looked down and I ate all the chips. Crap! Dang it, what did I do? Dad gave me one rule. My parents are never going to trust me ever again. They're going to disown me. My life is over. I'm going to be living in a box on the side of the road and have such trash can for chips. I might as well pack my things and get a head start right now. I started to panic. And my little kid brain started racing to think of some sort of way to avoid punishment. A rat! A giant rat burst through the door, slapped the bag of the chips out of my hand, ate all the chips, and escaped out the window. And also stole an extra cookie on his way out. No, they won't believe that. I don't think rats eat chips. Jack finished eating early and went into the backyard to play. So what I ended up doing is, Jack, do you want some chips? And I gave him the empty bag. Then I went to open my dad and said, Dad, I have something to tell you. I'm sorry. Jack said all the chips. And then I went to my room and hid. I really don't think my brother got into any trouble because I didn't hear any of that anymore. And my dad probably just threw the bag away. But since I never got caught about that situation ever since, there's layers to it. Not only did I lie to my dad and falsely accuse my brother, but on top of that all, I gave Jackson an empty bag of chips. A perfect regret cherry on the ice cream sundae of shame. And I really think that when my dad and my brother watched this video, they were like, I don't remember this at all. Because I want to say it's like 13 years ago, which makes me feel guilty even more, simply because it doesn't matter and no one cares, and I'm the only one suffering on it. It's a pretty effective way to learn a lesson. Never finished a bag of chips that day. One time I was at recess in 2nd grade, playing by myself like the loser. And this group of girls came in. Hey, we're playing tax and chasing the boys. You should help us. And I was like, well, we sitting here and getting beat in my hands. So I started chasing the boys with the rest of the kids. It was all normal at first. But somehow it started escalating to extreme tag. Extreme as in people started throwing rocks. Being a self-conscious child, no understanding of self-choice was like, oh, guess we're doing this now. I threw a rock and hit this back of the head, which may add took some not top-notch skill and coordination, considering we're both running. And he was a good distance away. Not to brag or anything. Ow! I'm telling! Oh, frick. I watched the kids start running off to tell a teacher, and I knew I had to do something fast. And don't tell me I should have just stood there and faced consequence of my actions. You know, as a kid, you wouldn't have done that. This only worked if we're all honest with ourselves. The first thing I could think of was hide in the bathroom, because everyone knows you can't listen to kids using bathroom stalls. That's definitely illegal and weird. I camped out in the girl bathroom until I heard the recess. Obviously, the teacher was told what happened, and I couldn't run away from that if I got in trouble. But the guilt trip doesn't end there. The teacher told me I was not allowed to go to recess tomorrow. Reasonable, I can own up to that punishment. She also said I need to write a letter to my parents, telling about what I did. I know what pushed me to do this, because I always did what grown-ups said, but something in my head told me, you're not writing that letter. Now later that day, the teacher came up to me and asked, did you write the letter? Yes. Please don't have to see it. Please don't have to see it. Good. And so my parents never found out until right now in this video. Please don't ground me, Mom and Dad. I don't know the statue of throwing rocks at little boy. Being 8 years, I think I'm safe. I'm not really guilty about this next story, but it's resonated within me for a very long time, so I'm going to add it to this video. Late night, was on the couch playing my Game Boy, and it was very past my bedtime. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I was probably pushing to want to stay up a little longer. My mom was telling me to get off and go to bed. It got the point, I'm going to count to 3, and you better have the living room cleaned up and be in bed, or else. Everyone knows counting to 10 means serious business. So I sprung up and immediately got my crap together. The ottoman was pushed out, and normally it's supposed to be against the couch. And I pushed it back, but being a scrawny 5-year-old, the size of a poodle, it was probably trying to push a semi-truck. I kept pushing and pushing with all my strength as I heard Mom in the background saying, 1, 2, it made it my feet. I just crumbled to the ground and started crying. And my mom found me on the floor, curled next to the ornament. I felt guilty I couldn't move the ornament. But hey, you don't need to feel bad for me now. Look at me now. Yeah, it was pretty surprising.